Oh, we have a fun one today. You're not going to want to miss this one. Hey, review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be covering the new Zombieshark record entitled, I Will Destroy You, Myself, and Everything I've Ever Loved. Holy shit! Holy shit! Wow. Okay, need to compose myself. This is a cyber death record that was dropped a little bit earlier this month, hailing from Philly, Pennsylvania. And I have hit my wall. I have hit my barrier, folks. I have been able to accurately describe and at least paint a sort of vivid picture of my opinions and how a record generally sounds for every record that I have reviewed this year. This one's stumping me. Like, stumping me in the best way possible, but I'll try. If you took the freakishly hectic plane of alien core bands like Rings of Saturn or let's say Infant Annihilator in the chaotic deathcore category, but without some of the extreme technicality, the grindcore speed and oddity of The Locust or Napalm Death, and then mash in a array of electronics and synths that I can only compare to Depeche Mode on crack or Blue Stolly, and that doesn't even touch, it doesn't even breach the surface, it doesn't even hit the tip of the iceberg of how eclectic this record is. I'm literally stammering, and that's something I don't do. From track 1, Son of the Morning Star, it's a gorgeously atmospheric take on space with a glistening night sky and layered reverbed vocals. Just a very open composition generally, and it has some percussion that ramps up the intensity and the tension of this track, and you might think you're in for an EDM record. Oh no, my sweet spring child, oh no. This is hellfire. Pure adrenaline, controlled chaos, endless progressions hitting you from every direction. Crisp, ferocious grindcore sections that slide in perfectly into these larger-than-life deathcore type breakdowns with these tenacious vocals swapping at lightning speed. And through all of this, technological anomalies are ripping through the mix in ways that I can't even begin to comprehend, and I've heard a lot of electronic music. So many glitches and synths and little bits of silence, momentary illusions and auditory hallucinations that are going to blast your eardrums as you're getting these metal tracks. Gravelly blips of electronics that are backing up these compositions like a reaper that is coming to claim a soul. Working in tandem and never once on this entire record preventing it from sounding dense, preventing it from sounding chaotic, preventing it to sound enjoyable. And I can say this record genuinely has some of the best flow of any record that I've heard this year. For being so non-stop and constant and just full pedal to the metal, just foot on the gas, won't stop, burning rubber, never letting up for the most part except for some of the interludes that pop up on this record. The buzzsaw is so consistent that I cannot turn my ears away from. So much of the time when something is so extreme, I have trouble really processing it, digesting it. It's not something that I can listen to on repeat because it is so extreme, it is so abrasive and intrusive intentionally. But this record does not give me that vibe off, which is something that I have to applaud in its own right. That is very impressive, because to be completely honest with you, I'm a picky bitch. What I'm trying to say is, besides a very small number of records that are in the high 8.5s to the 9 out of 10s, this is one of the only records that I think has a track listing that is constantly fireworks, something I can listen to over and over and not get sick of, something that I can listen to in its entirety. And I understand that it is a short track listing, but many grindcore records have a short track listing. This is honestly longer than many grind records, or pretty much anything that has grind in the title, so that's not really a valid argument. And I just want to make one point clear before I go any further. Synths are something that can be very, very hit or miss for me in metal music. It cannot be campy. It cannot be cheesy. Too much and you end up sounding like a cringe fest and you sound like blood on the dance floor. Too little and you feel like they're not much of an inclusion and they're more subtle than anything. I simply can't stress enough that they cannot sound forced. And I really mean it wholeheartedly, all my heart, that I have heard a lot of electronic music, and as a result of that, seek out electronic music within metal, and I have heard a lot, and this is genuinely one of the best executions of synths, glitches, delays, moments of silence, these odd vocoder bits, reverb, and so many other things that fall under that umbrella in the spectrum that I have ever heard. So, Corey, if you're listening to this, tip of the fucking hat. Each of these wrecking hits of percussion rocks my head. The very last bit of Red Pyramids Kill Each Other is a great example of that. This gracious ambiance that is hanging in the backdrop as this Genty Within the Ruins-esque riff plays out. The drum hits in this section sound like gunshots. Anyone that's heard a record from Anona Thrak is going to get that comparison. And on the subject of Anona Thrak, I don't know if that is an intentional influence, but it is something that I definitely heard on multiple occasions. And don't think that it is just metal. This is dynamic. Because as an avid admirer of ambient music that really does enjoy that, and I'm not talking the chill ambient lo-fi hip-hop beats to stay to, I'm talking genuine ambient music that has the purpose of serving sort of a vibe, sort of an aesthetic. Whispers from Next to List is straight out of the Vangelis playbook, and Vangelis is one of my favorite electronic and ambient artists, so that should give you an indication. Once again, I must reiterate, I am a picky person to please. This frigid level of atmosphere that brings on this intense feeling of remembrance and regret, it's just so emotional without ever having to speak a word. And if that's not enough for you, track 8, Puzzle Room, is a glittering force to be reckoned with a busy composition that tops many EDM and electro-ambient artists that are still at large right now. Alright, I'm gonna take my jacket off and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys for a second here. My opinion, one thing that defines a truly amazing record, whether you're talking about a current release or whether you're talking about a timeless, classic type of release, and you can hold me to this because I don't give my words away lightly on this channel, it has to be something that transcends the sum of its parts. Something that once you hear it, it jars you. It catches you by surprise. You go, wait, what? What am I hearing? And that, literally, I got that vibe from pretty much this entire record all the way through, and it just doesn't let up, it doesn't stop, it just consistently surprises me. And with repeated listens over and over and over and over, many of which back-to-back listens, I recognize and hear things I didn't hear before, and I'm intentionally trying to nitpick and pick out little details, and it's not even things that I notice on a third, fourth, fifth listen. There is so much being put into this project, but you never sometimes notice it because it's blurring by at such a fast speed. There's so much going on. The production gives so much to every little bit of this instrumentation that it's meticulous, and even though it's a flurry of soundscapes, there's so much going on, so much chaos and so much hectic behavior, but so much musical compatibility and chemistry between all of the influences that are being put into this record. I didn't think that I was going to have one of these in 2020. This is genuinely hitting on so many cylinders for me, and it might not be the type of thing that hits on other people's cylinders. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, it's not going to be for everyone. I think that if you have an open mind, this could be for everyone, but this might just personally be the type of thing that I connected to on a level that many people aren't going to connect to. I'm going to stand by this record and praise the hell out of it as much as I possibly can. It literally thrills me for the future of this project, and I just hope that they can keep up this excellence and this brilliance in every little facet of their sound. It's so rich and well-defined, well-developed, and so many of the terms that I'm giving away aren't things that I give away to everything, or very many things. This is my favorite record this year. I'm just going to say it, and that's saying a lot because I loved Drowned Sebaqueous and I loved Caligula's Horse record Rise Radiant, but I'm just going to say, I mean, didn't think it was going to happen. I'm going to be giving this album a 10 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Zombieshark record? I will destroy you, myself, and everything I've ever loved. If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss this record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is J Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.